All right, so welcome back to Two Dads and Six Daughters. This is our podcast with me and my best friend, my daughter's godfather, Mark Clark. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? I think we're gathering steam, man. I get comments. People are saying, I'm watching, I'm loving what you and Tony are doing. I'm like, all
Oh,
right, great.
well, nobody said a damn thing. Nobody said a damn thing to me. What's up with
Well,
that?
it was my mom, but
Oh, okay,
seriously,
all
I
right.
mean,
Well,
seriously.
Miss Jackie has an opinion too, man. She's allowed. She
And
is
she didn't even
allowed.
have a computer, even have a computer.
Well,
So
that's amazing. It's
I hear
amazing.
you guys are doing a wonderful job.
You sound just like her. Just take a couple of smidgens of bass out of her voice, and I'm talking to Jackie. You're channeling Jackie. Man, so what else is up, man? What's up with the girls?
Well, man, the girls are preparing to hit the schools. Tomorrow Skylar has a half day. They go back to school on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Today they got their blood work done. Today they had to go to the doctor to get their blood work. So that went well. Nobody fell out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we
There's blood everywhere.
there's we're just getting ready to start it back up, man. Start the machine up again.
Yeah.
I was up for this big job that I didn't get, so
I'm
they kept
sorry, man.
they kept the sharp objects and guns away from me this past weekend.
Did you take it bad, man? Were you disappointed?
Nah, nah. No, and it's weird because then you feel weird when people are like, because people will give you the, oh man, like I was in the barber shop today, and he said, what happened with the so and so? I said, I didn't get it, man. And he was like, he started giving me, to give you the line of, hey man, one door closed, another door open. You
Yeah,
know what I
well,
mean?
yeah. I don't want to hear that. Shut up. I don't want to hear that.
If not
So,
this,
yeah.
why?
So
Something bigger is better is waiting for you.
the bigger question is why do you go to a barbershop?
Taking my father-in-law.
Oh, okay.
I take my dad. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Well, I mean that's cool, man. Let me make your day, man. Let me make your day. Let me tell you how proud a godfather you should be because Olivia today got a phone call
Uh-oh.
and she is the first ever recipient of a the scholarship they give, and it's a $100,000 scholarship.
What? Wow. Are you
I'm
serious?
serious, man. So
Yo, man, that is so exciting.
everything is taken care of. All I got to do is pay like $4,000, man, and it's just wrap, man. So it's
Oh
like,
man. That's what ooh man, the household breathes a sigh of relief.
man, you don't know how good I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Man,
I
that is
may, you know what? I may even have sex tonight.
awesome. Wow. Okay. So,
Everything in steps, man. Everything's.
hold on, man. Friday. Yo, man, that's great.
Oh, dude. So I'm at home working on my video projects. I'm on vacation this week, and so I'm working on my video projects here. I did an interview earlier, and they're out gathering because Olivia moves into her dorm tomorrow, and so they're gathering all their little incidentals, tying up some loose ends, and they're at Lowe's, and she gets a phone call, and then she gets the word. And they're at Lowe's crying. All three of them, Maria,
Oh,
Olivia, and my wife, are all crying at Lowe's.
that is
And
best.
and so they said, Mita said Red Robin for dinner, and not a sponsor, by the way, but if you'd like to be, and Lowe's too, by the way, and
That's awesome.
I get out of the car and they have these look on their face. I'm like, what? And so my wife says, let me introduce you to the first ever recipient of this scholarship that's worth 100,000. That's 25,000 a year for 4 years.
That is amazing, man.
Well,
God, that's what a blessing.
Man, she already had a half ride, which I was cool with, right? Half a ride is better than no ride, right?
Yeah.
So I was good with that, right? So I mean, we had already started making payments. I mean, we were already like 5 G's in, man.
Awesome.
So everything they're gonna move that money gets to the portion that I have to pay. So I'm almost paid off for the year with that. So and I said, "Are you finally excited about going to school?" She says, "Yes, I'm excited." So
Yes.
because she was up for a full ride and she didn't get it, and she was very disappointed, right?
Hmm.
She felt like she had let me down and her mom down. I was like, "What are you talking about? What are you
Right.
Olivia? What are you talking about? The fact that you're going to college is my reward. Don't even worry about paying for it, right?" I said, "I got this." Right? In my mind, are you crazy? Are you nuts? Have you lost your damn mind? But I got it, man. We cut some corners and stuff, so but it was I'm very happy for her, man. She's excited, and it's hard to get her excited about anything. So
Yo, man, I can't wait to share the news. What a great,
yeah,
great day.
yeah,
That's amazing. Tell her we love her. We're so proud of her.
yeah,
And I'm going to have to get her a gift.
yeah. Well,
one day.
One day, man. Just let them stack up, man. So by the time you're ready to do it, you just borrow the house, man. You know what I'm
That, you know, speaking of that, Tony, what you said was interesting because I think this could be an interesting topic. You mentioned, I thought about you when I was coming in the house
saying? In a manly
because,
way.
in a manly way, like you said, every father wants to be able to say, I got you. I'll take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Every man wants to be able to say that to the wife, to the kids. And it is a very interesting space, to be in when you can't say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you can give your love, you can give your time, you can give your thoughts and give your feelings, but you don't have the money to give. And this space that I've been in since probably 2008, I think I was thinking about it because even when I, was making six figures, um, I was thinking it was weird. I was never the kind of dad, even though I had daughters, that showered them with a whole bunch of material things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to, it's funny because it's hard to kind of, when I look back at it, I was thinking about that. My mother-in-law buys them everything and always has. So it's almost like that was always taken care of. You know what I mean? And so, and I think because I didn't come from a household that necessarily, my mother wasn't in a position to do it. That wasn't a big part of it. Our whole thing, like buy my baby girl everything she wants,
Mm-hmm.
which I know a lot of fathers do,
Mm-hmm.
and I never second guessed that. I was always comfortable with that because, I felt like we can get them whenever they want and, they were happy. So whatever. But now being in this position and now that they're older, because I guess back then, when they're kids, they don't really ask for anything either. That's the other thing. They don't ask for a bunch when they're little kids. So now they're preteen. Now they do ask for more things, but as they come into this age, I have not had the kind of employment that allowed me to do that. So, I always think about that from a standpoint of, you really have to. I mean, I have a lot of dynamics that work for me. My wife is very understanding. My in-laws are very understanding.
But you know what, Mark? That there's a reason
And
why. There's a reason why they're understanding, and the reason why is because of the kind of man you are.
yeah,
They know that you're trying. You don't. Some guys, they lose their job. They just sit at home and watch TV and wait for a job to come knocking on the door. You have never done that.
right.
You have grabbed on opportunities that you really didn't even understand, but you did because you felt like you
Yeah,
had to, right? I mean, I'm
right.
just being honest with you, right?
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not saying anything out of line, but
Well, damn you, Tony Scott.
but because of the kind of man you are, and I was going to say this to you, is that your in-laws, they believe in you, and
Yeah,
not only that, we've had lots of conversations, even when you and I work together in radio with our listeners, when women would say, if he can't pay child support, the least he can do is this, this, and this. And
exactly.
though the situation is different because you're still happily married, you're still in a very
Yes,
great, strong marriage,
yes,
but just because you're not bringing home money, it doesn't mean you're not doing other things. And you are. Everything is being asked of you. You have no problem with it, and you do it. And I think that speaks volumes of you, and it speaks volumes of how your in-laws and your wife feel
yes.
about you. They
And
have
that's
no they
and
have no doubt.
well, that's why I wanted to share and say that to the support group, the wives and the in-laws and the people that surround.
And the out of
It's
work
so important,
husbands.
and that'll work husbands. It's so important to have that support group, though. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have people whispering in the ear, it can be very trying.
Mm-hmm.
Even, so let's say your wife has is dealing with it, but she has someone whispering in her ear. Let's say that person is her mother or her father or her
Mm-hmm.
family members. All those things come into play. And I just wanted to shout out those who are supportive. And then for those who haven't thought about it, please be supportive
Mm-hmm.
because it can be a very trying time. And the other part is like you said, you realize, I'm living we are living the theory that it's not just about the money,
Mm-hmm.
and it really isn't. I mean, money. Obviously, you need money to make things happen, but even in our situation, we had situations where there were opportunities for Allison, and again, for her, happiness was over the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was thinking about that saying that people say money is the root of all evil. I don't believe that. at
Well,
all.
I'm told
I
that
think
that's not true. I'm told what it
yeah,
is the love of money
exactly.
is the root
Because
of all evil.
people, right, if you put that above everything,
Mm-hmm.
above your character and even people, then, but yeah, money is needed. Like you say, to send your baby to college,
Mm-hmm.
to do what you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have the money. But I just wanted to share that. And for all the brothers out there who are, and sisters who are, and people who are struggling with this economy, as we
Mm-hmm.
all are, just keep your head up, stay focused, and, understand, I think what happens is we have, if it's a job, if it's an opportunity, we sometimes our emotions get so intertwined when it doesn't happen for you, you can slip into a depression, or you can, of course you ask the question, why me? Of course, all those things that happen, but we have to take our emotions out of those situations and look at the situations for what they are. And most of the time it has nothing to do with you.
It's true.
It really has nothing to do with you at all. It's just you have allowed your emotions to get involved. And then when the emotions get involved, you can become bitter and become down, but you can't let that happen. And I think at the end of the day, what you're doing, Tony, away from your main job, this path you're doing with videos, and I'm hoping to do the same thing. When you're running your own business, you really start to see how there's a whole bunch of dynamics that,
Mm-hmm.
if you could, you'd have a better camera, but
Yeah.
you can't have a better camera.
Right.
And the same thing applies to the jobs we work at. A lot of times if they could, they would pay you more, but
Mm-hmm.
they can't,
Right.
and in this economy, they're not. In
Right.
the old days, they maybe gave you that trickle down. They used to give it to the employees.
Mm-hmm.
Now they don't do that. They hold on to it for a rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember a long time ago, Kathy Hughes, I was up for a contract and I was talking to her about it. And she said, Mark, you know, I employ, let's say she said 2,500 people. I'm responsible for 2,500 people, and that's all I can really do. So if you're not really happy with what you're making or what you're doing here, then you have to get your own. And it was like, that wasn't what I wanted to hear. I
Right.
thought I was going to maybe get some, but it was very real. And that is true. When you have your own company, just think about that company. That company is providing a life for thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, whatever. And if you, instead of complaining and downing it all the time, maybe you have to start building up your own little nest or building up a system for yourself
Mm-hmm.
and then living off that eventually. So,
Yeah, that's a
okay.
great point. That's a very good point, man. That's of course Kathy Hughes was lying to you, but still that's not
Well, on that same, let me paint the picture.
Oh, no, because she may
No,
call
she
you
made a
back.
good point. No, she made a good
She did
point.
make a
But I'm
good
just
point.
saying
Yeah.
that we were being treated on a boat ride
Mm-hmm.
for our success in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's in charge of the menu, which was fried chicken with, wait for it, what for dessert, Tony?
What? Jello?
Watermelon.
No!
What happened? I don't know what happened. What happened, y'all? Because nobody was in there to say, maybe we,
And you want a boat ride?
yes.
It's free. Give me free. Who are you on the Amistad or something? What the hell? Oh,
Well,
fried chicken and watermelon? Jesus!
and be fair though, they did have crab.
Ah, well, hey, hey, man. Hey, have you seen the Butler, the
No,
movie?
I have not seen it. My in-laws, they've seen it,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go see it. I was just looking at. Do you follow Boyce Watkins?
Not regularly, just of something,
He was a lot of people are dogging it or whatever, right? Now the thing that's interesting about, I was just looking at one of his a comment. He says that there's a buzz in the black community about the recent release film The Butler. Basically, his headline was, "There's nothing wrong with being a butler, but that won't make us free."
Well, that's his perspective, though, Mark.
Well, yeah, well, it probably won't make us free, boys. But it's about a man who, in fact, was a butler,
Right, right, right.
and the message is making change any way we could. You know, like the intellect, the intelligentsia. I'm probably saying that incorrectly. the smart people always, it's like blah 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 blah.
Well, someone, Kevin Woodson told me one time that a black man somewhere would vote for slavery, would be
Yeah,
pro-slavery.
yeah,
There's always going to be that group of people. They're entitled to their opinion. I mean, I was just going to bring up The Butler, which, by the way, just smashed the box office, which is great news. But also, actor Harry Lennox thought the movie sucked. Now you might
yeah,
say, well, who's Harry Lennox? Well, if you Google him, you'll recognize him when you see him.
yeah.
In fact, he says a lot more than that. He says that what did he say about Lee Daniels? That he niggerfies it. He niggerfied it. Well, what does that mean? What does
What
that
does that mean?
what does that mean? I don't know what that means. What is it? Did he make it? What does that mean to you? What does that mean?
I think he probably saw either the original book or he probably saw the original screenplay
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, and felt that the decisions that Lee Daniels made it the typical the typical story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is that happens a lot in Hollywood. I think that's one of Spike Lee's beefs. I think it's a lot of people who, it's easy to say that. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's interesting, like in Spike Lee recently, Spike Lee was doing this James Brown movie with Glazer,
Right.
and he's not on anymore. They
Yeah.
apparently
Yeah.
they apparently fell out or whatever. But I think so. You have a vision of how you would want something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just talking to the girl that I told you a couple weeks ago. The girl just signed with this management company, Hollywood thing. And
Mm-hmm.
the guy, one of the guys, is they're trying to get this animated movie done. And the funding is just it's a slippery slope. It's like
Right.
this, it's slippery slope. One day they're good, one day you're not. One day you're good, one day you're not. I think that's a factor when directors do movies. I think also what I always will say about the criticism when you talk about art, a person has to do their thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Lee Daniels can't make the movie that Spike Lee would make or that Quentin Tarantino would make. You gotta go, you have to ride the horse that got you there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the high stakes game of movies, when you get a movie greenlit, you gotta go with you. You go with what you believe will work. When I
Mm-hmm.
say work, probably work at the box office, work success wise, work to get your funding, And
Mm-hmm.
so I think when artists criticize other artists, it always ends up to me. I can't, it's like DJ, like I say, some people like so and so, some people like so and so.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, Tony Scott can't be Tom Joyner
Right.
or Steve Harvey. And
Mm-hmm.
when you got a shot, if they say, Tony, you are now have a chance to a national syndicated show, you're not going to sound like anybody else but Tony Scott
Right.
because that's who you are. And
That's what that's what brought me there.
that's what brought you there. And I
Right.
think that's, like, so this, again, another part about it is, my friend Safir Rob, who I work for, who's a friend that I work for, he always, two things he always say: proof of past performance when you're talking about business, proof of past performance, and the proof of what is it? The proof of the pudding is in the tasting.
Mm-hmm.
Which people always do jack that one up, don't they? Most people say proof's in the pudding. Don't most people say the proof's in the pudding?
Yeah.
But the proof of the proof of the pudding is in the tasting, I think. But anyway, um, proof of past performance. Lee Daniels has done this. He's an Academy Award winning director, right? No, or a nominated
Nominated.
director.
Yeah.
He's only done 4 or 5 movies, and they've all been
Yeah.
pretty much successful. Versus your man who was in the 5 Heartbeats. I mean, come on.
Oh, Robert Townsend.
Yeah,
But they all have their niche, though, don't you
have you?
think?
But what I'm saying is, have you ever got a project greenlit? Whoever's criticizing, and that's the beauty. That is the beauty of black folks. Since there's very few opportunities, very little opportunity. Ask yourself this question before you criticize. Have you ever got a movie greenlit? No.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been nominated for an Academy Award? No. Has anybody ever invested over $1 million in anything that you've ever done? If you can't answer yes to those questions, shut up. No, you have a right. You have a right to comment, but
Yeah.
it's like, what have you done? I mean, who are you to say that? Spike Lee can say. I think Spike Lee, when he criticizes directors, okay, I'll listen to Spike because Spike Lee's a director, But this guy, you know,
A lot
and
of
it's his
times, though,
opinion.
Spike comes off as somebody who's jealous of someone else's success. I don't know if that's true. That's the impression I got, and I could be wrong about that. But I will defend Spike Lee on this. Spike Lee's been catching heat because he's been using Kickstarter to fund a movie that he wants to make, and he's been getting criticized for that. Where on the other end of the spectrum, Adam Carolla, who has a very popular podcast and it has had somewhat of a successful career, is doing a Kickstarter funding project for a movie, and he's getting nothing but love.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's ignorance too. You know,
Did you see him?
Adam Carolla is in the uh, the social media, new media.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that market. He's one of the success stories is his podcast, like you said.
Yeah.
And I think Spike, they just kind of, the general news people just threw him in the cycle.
Right.
But Corolla already has a huge base that I'm sure will fund whatever he wants. That's the
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Tapping those guys, and again, hats off to Spike, like you said, for tapping into new media. Which this will be like you said at a great point. He said, "I've been doing this before there was social media."
Right.
Which is true. You
True.
go to Oprah, go to
Mm-hmm.
Denzel, and ask them take a pay cut, ask them for some money. And so, he's been doing it for a longer time. Well, Tony, it's interesting because my people and your people
Mm-hmm.
have a history of being domestics.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your take
On The Butler?
Or even
Well, I haven't seen The Butler, so I really don't have an opinion on it. But I find it very interesting that a man like this Lennox guy, he says that he got sent the script for the movie The Butler, and he read 5 pages and he just couldn't do it. He says he was appalled. He says it's historically inaccurate, and he just had all kinds of criticism for it. And then when he says that Lee Daniels niggerified it, it's like, wow, really, really.
Yeah.
And now don't get me wrong. I don't think it's necessary in 2013. See, like 20 years ago, even going back before then, black folks were almost obligated to publicly support, both in terms of their dollars to see a movie and their take on the movie, to support black cinema.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily needed anymore. I think if a black movie comes out and it sucks, I think you should say it sucks.
Yeah.
But to just go out and say something like that, he niggerified it. That's just hate. There's no way that you can use that word in that manner and not mean hate.
Yeah. And why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you do that?
What is it really worth it? That's the other part about life I'm getting around to, it's just not worth it. You're an actor.
Yeah.
This is going to be Academy Award nominated. You're a black actor.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah. What are you doing? You going against Oprah? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
essentially, yeah.
And who are you?
Yeah.
Who
are you again?
You're not big enough to, you're not really big enough to do that. And like you said, what positive? Let's say you're, what positive can come out of it? Nothing.
Mm-mm.
You can have an intimate conversation with Lee Daniels. You can in a private, but to publicly say it, and again, it kind of speaks to the whole crabs in the barrel thing we always talk about.
I mean, but this Lennox guy, he's not even a big enough star to be invited to be on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, he's not even a B-list. I mean, you know him when you see him, and he's a good actor, but he's not on a level where anybody's going to remember his name. So why? So did you say this so people will remember your name? Because all I remember is your last name, Lennox. I don't remember your first name. And I'm the one who brought it up 5 minutes ago. I don't.
I'm calling Lennox Lewis.
You know what I'm saying?
I think he's a boxer from England.
So this, I saw this story about this survey in Germany, a study that says that people who have more sex make more money.
This one, Allison did this story, and she was like, she did not like this story in general.
Well, now why?
I tried to. I think she was kind of like thought it was some BS because she was like, well, what about prostitutes or something? I was just like, no.
But you don't factor that in, though. That's not part of the study. So
yeah.
You talk about everyday people, right?
Yeah, I think it's just again the spirit of having money.
Yeah.
When you have money, let's say me for instance. Let's say I'm making millions now.
Okay.
Now my wife gets up at 4:00 in the morning.
Right.
If I'm making millions and we got everything we want, If I shake her 3:30, it's different than
Mhm.
me shaking her now 3:30.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Wake up, dear.
mm, mm.
It's 3:30.
Ain't 30
What
more
could you
minutes.
possibly want and not have nary a job?
No, well, I got
What could he
needs.
possibly want?
I got wants.
Versus, you remember the great time you had on vacation when we flew in and you're remembering the delicious meals we had and you're like, yes, dear. And you know that, you know what, if I don't feel like going to work today, I just call in
Yeah,
because he got my back.
right.
Versus, huh? If I don't go in,
Yeah,
we don't go in.
no,
What's your
no.
take? What's your take, Tony, on the story? What I mean, just in general, I think it relaxes the attitude around the household.
Well, it does, but I mean,
And also access. Also access. When we got money.
well, money, generally speaking, can make things a lot easier. It can also complicate things. But in regards to this study that we were talking about, they were asking 26 to 50-year-olds. So I'm not even in that demographic, right? So it doesn't even apply to me. Do people who make more, have more sex, make more money? According to the study, 3.2% more. So you make, what, 3 pennies on every dollar more than I make. So is that even worth a study? Anything that has sex in it is going to get
Salacious.
attention. It's going to get it. Yeah,
What?
it's going to get
Oh,
attention.
Allison's other argument was that poor people, sex is their recreation.
Well, I could see some truth in that too, but
Cable off again? Hey.
but
Lights off again?
but I
Hey.
don't think that study was addressing special circumstances as far as like poor people or unemployed people or people who were prostitutes. I don't think that was
Just,
part of their equation.
it
That's
was
just
just to
me.
make people like us talk about it. And
Yeah.
it did.
Well,
Successful.
man. So in St. Louis, the county police have apologized for a white officer's reference to the headless horseman while questioning a black family about what they were doing at a home in South County. Dale Watson said that he appreciates the apology, but he wants the police to do more than that. He and his wife, his nephew, and his niece were fixing up a foreclosed home uh, last Friday morning when two St. Louis County patrolmen arrived and asked why they were there. So Dale explains to them what's going on. And the officer says, quoting here from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, "I'm going to assume that you're legitimate, but if something happens down the road, then we're going to come down like the Headless Horseman. Do you know who the Headless Horseman is?" And of course, the Headless Horseman is a Klan reference.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a Klan reference, and it's like,
I didn't
really,
know
really. You know what? I think I need his job. I think I
that.
need that police officer's job because what you did, you threatened this man. You came to this man and you asked to see everybody's ID, and they did what you asked. Okay, you asked them what they were doing here, and they told you what they were doing here. Now you have their name, their address, and the reason why they're in South County.
Mm.
And you're going to tell them if we come back because this something goes on around here, it's going to be like the Headless Horseman. It's going to be like a Klan thing. And you're an officer of the law, and part of your duty is to protect and serve not just white people but everybody. Really, you're going to do that? I think I need your damn badge. I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be. I need your badge. I don't need you. I don't need sensitivity training for you. I don't need anything. You threatened this man with
Yeah.
Klan-like activity if you had to come back. I need your job.
I'm just glad you told me. I thought it was a Johnny Depp movie reference. It's like I would have let it pass.
You know what? I can't take you nowhere, man. I can't take you. But St. Louis, it is what it is,
No,
right?
I'm with you, Tony. I'm with you. I never heard that term before, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's a threat.
That's
That's
a
it. You
threat.
gotta
That's a
go. Gotta
that's a
go. Gotta
threat.
go.
You got to go.
Gotta
You
go.
got to
Gotta go.
go.
I'm on four.
I need your job.
Come on, man. He
And
gotta
I
go.
know.
And he is in the Klan because who knows? How'd you know that reference, by the way?
No, I read it's part of the story.
Headless Horseman. You know who the Headless Horseman is, don't you? I've been like, what? What you talking about? No, I don't.
Well, it's man, I don't know, man. And then I saw this other. I didn't read the whole story, but I got the headline of this. So this woman who apparently was mad at her husband. I don't know if he cheated on her or what, but she cut his peen off with a butter knife.
Wow. They did not. So I know they didn't find that one. It was ragged.
You know, do you know how long that may have taken? Well, depending on his size, but I mean, I'm just saying it could have took a minute. It could have took a month. I mean, just
And I hope
depending.
it. And for his sake, I hope it was the butter knife with the little,
The little ridges.
not, yeah, not the real butter knife. Lord Jesus.
But a butter knife is not really a sharp object. It's just designed to spread butter.
How did she do that though? I mean, where
I mean, I don't know how did he not get
was he
away?
in the kitchen, like right by the cutting board? I
I
mean, what
mean,
happened?
was he asleep? Because one time Willie Nelson said a long time ago that one time he came home drunk, one of his wives, and raising hell, she sewed him up in the sheets and beat him with a broomstick, so he couldn't even get out of the sheets. She sewed him when he was that drunk, when he was that passed out, and she's like, and then she beat him with a broomstick. So maybe he was that drunk or on something where he couldn't. I don't know what the deal was, but to use a butter knife to cut off a man's peen, man, that's.
Did they recover it?
You know what? I don't know. I didn't read the whole story, and I should have even brought it up without even doing that. That's sin number one on my part, because as broadcasters, we don't do that.
Oh, I'm not talking about his penis. I mean the butter knife. Is it covered? You always want to set. You don't want to have.
All right, that's enough.
You don't mess up the set.
Oh, that's enough.
Where's the butter knife? Oh, damn.
Damn, man, damn.
A lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, man. So, but we'll wrap it up here, man. We've gone our half hour, and they always say always leave them wanting more.
Yeah, man. You look really clear today too, man.
Do I look
on a clear
well,
day.
you know what? I bought some new lights. So
Yeah,
for my studio, and I got to get you these lights, man, because they're not expensive at all. They're like $55 for 3 lights.
Would you eBay?
Yeah, but you might be able to get it on Amazon too. So I'm an Amazon merchant. So
Really?
if you use my link,
Oh yeah.
I get some pennies. Would
And you're an Amazon merchant? I didn't realize that.
Yes, so I don't ask many men to use my link, but I'm asking you.
Well, hey, don't put me near butter knife.
Well, dude, have a great rest of the week, man.
Yo, man, tell Olivia, man, we're so proud of her. I have to call her tomorrow. Don't tell her that. I have to call her tomorrow.
All right, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
She's moving tomorrow.
She's moving tomorrow, so you maybe want to call her tonight, or maybe like right when we get off, because she's upstairs right now bouncing around. She's still walking on clouds, man. We're happy for her. Yeah, man.
Good job, man. Proud of you guys. Hug the wife for me.
I will, man. Tell everybody I said hello.
I sure will, brother.
And we'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Take care.